Well, good morning to everyone. Really appreciate you all taking time out of your day to spend with the Panthers. We really appreciate you all's resourcefulness covering us as an organization. We definitely welcome you all to come to as many practices as possible, promote our program as much as possible, and also, promote that Georgia State is here. Tickets are on sale for our fans, alumni, and friends of our program. So please buy your game day tickets or season tickets. We want to really, really emphasize supporting our student athletes in a major way, and we need Atlanta support in that. I thought today was a good first start. Kids are always anxious on the first day, so you could kind of see some of the anxiety. And when you have anxiety from a mental standpoint, it reflects from a physical standpoint. We are really pushing nutrition because of the heat. We've been doing that all summer. Our kids have really bought into eating the correct meals, putting the right stuff in their body, hydrating. And when you get to camp, all those things are vital to have another good practice the next day. So recovery, how do we get 8 hours of sleep at night, getting off my phone, relaxing my mind, and not having anxiety about the next practice. And with that being said, I will open up for questions.
I forget which summer it was, or they changed the rules recently and say less restrictions on what can and can't happen with football during the summer. Obviously, there's probably always rust in day one, but have you noticed over those years less of that, or is there more connectedness heading into the start of fall camp nowadays?
Yeah, we definitely are ahead of schedule from a playbook standpoint. We kind of dialed back today to kind of go through our installs. So everything we did today was reviewed. But when you got a lot of young players, freshmen, first time practicing in college, they get a little bit of anxiety and don't necessarily line up correctly. Don't have cognitive. They're not cognizant of the shot clock. Some of the quarterbacks weren't today. So those are small things that we can clean up. But overall, I thought the energy was good. I thought our kids paid attention to detail. I think they showed good effort. We got to work on our transitions from one group to the next group, and just continue to get 1% better every single day.
And with a new offensive coordinator, but who was here last year in Hugh Jackson, how much of it is a total reinstall of an offense, or how much of it is just tinkering about what you already had set?
It's a little bit, it's a little bit mixed there. Coach Jackson has a brilliant offensive mind. He's been calling plays, and he's been a head coach on all levels. I trust him. Very experienced. The kids have really bought into his coaching style. He demands a lot out of the coaches. I lean on him as well. Him being a veteran coach, and I really appreciate the things he's done for our organization and what he'll do moving forward.
Coach talks about the personnel you assemble for your offensive line and the difference that may make for Christian.
Yeah, we still got to get some cohesiveness on the offensive line. We still got some guys that aren't full go right now. On the O-line, Veilleux, A.J. Johnson come to mind. And then at the tight end position, Camden and Wesley are the tight end from ULM. They're not full go right now. Some of y'all probably saw Branson Robinson wasn't full go. We kind of limiting him right now to allow him to fully recover before we get him in the mix. So we're being very smart about the guys that are on a pitch count, and we have several guys on the offensive line, like I mentioned. But I like the direction Coach Ross has and the cohesiveness they're building on the offensive line. Of course, I feel like we're a lot bigger on the offensive line, but now it's just making sure that we're getting on the same page in the run game, pass game, and that's what camp is for us to dive deeper and connect on a higher level. And a couple of our camp goals was I challenged our guys to meet with 6 different players or coaches or anybody on the training staff, equipment staff, just so we can really dive deeper in our connection piece with our entire organization. And they've been doing that at several. They will have the opportunity at the meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, transitions. When they're in the cold tub right now, they can get an opportunity to really get to know who their teammate truly is. And 3 questions that I challenge them with, or something that no one knows about you, what's something that's really difficult or some difficult moments that you've had in your life, and what is your why. We want to go above the surface level of just high school name, birth date. So just getting those 3 questions answered has created a lot of dialogue with our team. And I think the more dialogue we get, the more connection we have, the better off we're going to be.
The players you mentioned, you're holding back. All of them basically have a couple years at least college experience. So is it an added bonus that if you're holding them back now, that's giving some other younger guys maybe reps during this camp?
Yeah, it does give guys other reps, but at the same token, we can't sustain if we keep that because someone's carrying the load for someone else. So as soon as they're cleared, we're going to get them in the mix. That's the thing about camp. It is a next man up mentality. We do get a chance to develop some of the freshmen that we brought in from a high school standpoint and some of the junior college transfer portal guys. So I was just very pleased with the overall work we got accomplished today. Definitely wasn't the cleanest day, but I felt like our enthusiasm and effort and fighting through the elements was done well.
You added some depth in the receiving. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we got several guys that are capable playmakers. Leo Blackburn, who's a Westlake, Atlanta native, adds a lot of size, physicality on the perimeter, a deep ball, red zone threat. Javon Robinson, who was here in the spring as well, shifty, good returner, has elite speed, can make plays down the field in the screen game, reverses, and things of that sort. Jalen Marshall adds depth. He's still kind of learning. He's kind of dealing with an injury right now as well, but he pushed through for the most part today. Then the freshmen I'm really excited about, DJ Avery, Kyle Washington, Ahmed Sare, Deontay Fulton, DJ Riles, a returning receiver. All those guys have really done a tremendous job this offseason of grasping the playbook, taking the smaller details of things, and a lot of that came from Ted Hurst's leadership, along with Coach Craig and Coach Marshall, getting the kids to buy in to what we got to do to be successful in the passing game.
Okay, Coach, Sports Acquire. We're speaking with Christian today, so looks like he's the incumbent starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But even from last year, we saw you'll change your quarterback. You'll rotate some guys in there. What about the quarterback room, and what does Christian have to do to really distinguish himself to keep this starting position as you prepare for Ole Miss?
Well, the biggest thing is he can't think he has to win the game or make all the plays. It's all about decision making. We got to make sure that we're playing clean football on the offensive side of the football. And as coaches, we got to help with that. So we got to make sure that we don't have too much in and we're asking too much of our quarterbacks. We got to make sure once we get to game planning, we'll limit what those quarterbacks will have to do. Cam Brown and P.J. Hatter, and along with T.J. Stanley, all 3 of those guys have athleticism, can provide some things from a short yardage goal line standpoint because they are dual threat type guys. And P.J. is about 195 pounds, and then T.J. Stanley's like 215, and Cam Brown's 225. So they have some size. They can break tackles. So those will be things that we'll explore and once we get further in camp. But right now we're just installing. We're not game planning for anyone. We're just working on ourselves right now. And once we get closer to Ole Miss, we'll start peeling back and really diving in what we want to do from a game plan standpoint.
Going back to the first day of practice theme, can you remember what it was like your first practice at Auburn and those emotions and what that day was like, and those emotions still, important today when you got a whole bunch of new kids doing the same thing?
Absolutely, especially as a freshman. Like I said, the anxiety was there for me when I practiced my first time at Auburn. It was a lot harder. We had 3-a-days on the first day. Hydration and all those things weren't necessarily preached and required. The recovery piece, it was there but not emphasized the way it is now, and the game has changed for the better from that standpoint with the concussions and CTE and all the studies of the brain and And we practice on turf every day too, so that's not always good on your body either. So we have to be smart about how we practice and the load we're putting on guys. That's why we use the technology of our GPS system, and we look at player loads, their yardage, and if we see spikes in a negative manner, we know we got to scale some of those kids back, and that'll give an opportunity for a younger kid to develop. And sometimes we're going to adjust our schedule as well. And right now, I got every practice plan or practice face already assembled, but that could change based on our health and how guys are feeling and what's really, really best for us. But Auburn days were wonderful. Pat Dell was a hard-nosed kind of guy, so y'all are kind of my age, so y'all played ball and y'all understand it wasn't as easy. I don't even remember if we had an acclimation period, to be honest with you. I don't know if we were out there and passed the first day, but it was I know we practiced at 6, I know we practiced at 12, I know we practiced at 6 in the evening, so it was rough. That 12 o'clock practice was the easiest, but it was pads, basically shells, pads, and got up and did it again. So we can't do that in today's game, which is good. Like I said, it's to benefit the long-term health of these student athletes to make sure they have a prosperous life after football.
A couple questions, Coach. First one, just so to be clear, is Christian? Is he named the starter?
Yeah,
Or is
he's
he
the starter right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Making
that's
sure.
Sunbelt Media Days. You must have missed it.
And then I guess
You
my
missed
question. Other question is just the feeling as you've now seen your guys out on the field, right? You've gone through the recruiting, you're getting guys coming in, transfer portal, all that good stuff. But once you kind of see them running around, is there anything that's kind of stood out to you so far as you've seen your guys out on the field running around and I guess moving?
Yeah, they're just trying to do exactly what the coaches are asking. And then when they don't, we expect our players to confront and demand the standard. And if the players don't do it, we got to do it as coaches until we can get that buy-in and the leadership from our players to do so. To me, we started our season back last year. The 45 players that we have returning are really doing a good job of setting that example, showing the guys that we've added to the program how we do things. And the guys that we have added, they've kind of been a sponge in that regard. And now it's just becoming closer as a unit, as a family, and then just get through each and every day without having a bad or terrible practice. We can't afford to have a bad practice, and that was a challenge that we issued last night. Just make sure we're getting 1% better. Make sure when we're in a meeting, make sure we're paying attention, sitting up, taking notes, being a student of the game. And we're on the football field, how do we develop the habits that are going to carry over when it's time to play the game?
Hey, Coach. So I know you're in year 2 now, so obviously there's a little bit of continuity, but what have you noticed been the biggest differences so far with day 1 of 2024 as opposed to day 1 of 2025?
I feel like I know the kids a lot better because the 34 high school kids that we added, we recruited those guys for a year. We know their families. We kind of know how they tick, what motivates them. And then even the portal kids that we brought in, there's some familiarity there as well because we recruited several of those guys when we were at previous stops. And knowing that, knowing what they're about, knowing their families also adds that continuity piece of we don't feel like we're strangers. And, of course, we did add some guys that we had no clue about, and they've been a welcome surprise from a play standpoint, picking up the playbook, really taking it serious. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring in competition at every single position, which I feel like we've done. And when you have competition at every single position, it really pushes kind of the depth chart, so to speak. We really don't have a true depth chart right now. We're just kind of repping guys, and they're getting reps on both ends of the field. And it'll be a time and place to kind of set that, and that'll be distinguished by how the guys play, how they pick up on the mental game, and the best players that have the least number of mistakes will be the ones that play. We got to make sure we play guys that we trust, and you earn your trust in camp. You define your roles on whatever it's going to be, special teams, special plays during camp.
Awesome. Thank you. One more question. What are going to be some of the biggest goals for fall camp this year for you? Obviously, as you said, the depth chart building and whatnot, but just kind of what do you want to see out of the team out of
Yeah,
fall camp
thing
this
for
year?
camp is no one's bigger than the team. So we don't want any I's, no me's. It's all about us and we. That's the theme for the next 23 days for us. And then we had small details under that where we want to be the most physical and mentally tough team. Today was a mentally tough day because we weren't in pads, but we have to make sure we develop the physicality and an identity of being a team that we're going to out hit and out hustle our opponents, and that all carries and all starts in practice. How we approach practice, we can't approach practice like it's another day. It has to be game-like mentality because if you don't practice that way, it won't carry over into the game. And also the connection piece, like I talked about, just challenging our guys to dive deep and meet 6 different guys, 6 different people in our organization, and our coaches have to do it as well. So it's not just the players. It's our equipment staff. It's our medical team. It's our dining hall. So we want to get the whole organization under one umbrella when it comes to us connecting and knowing one another, loving each other, and we're going to win and lose together.
I won't ask if there's a depth chart here, but can you talk through the kicking and punting situations, guys you brought in there, punter, and guys coming back to kicker?
Yeah, we brought in a long snapper starting there, Spencer Radnati, and we brought in Joe Laterza from TCU. They'll be battling at that position. Reed Chanley at punter along with Bo. He from Athens Academy. I don't know all these guys' last names, but call him Bo. I've been saying him forever too. So they'll kind of compete at that position, and then Liam Rickman and Braden McAllister will kind of compete for that field goal position or field goal kicking competition. I feel like Braden has really done a good job of developing the shorter kicks. Definitely, if anything 35 or longer, he'll be in the game. He just has a stronger leg, and he showed that last year by making that 52-yarder against Texas State. So, like I say, competition at every single position. We're going to play our best players on special teams. I told them last night it'll be a travesty if we didn't teach a Ted Hurst, Damaine Wilson, anybody that started not how to play on special teams, because all of them have aspirations of playing on the next level in the NFL. And for the majority of most rosters, if you're not the guy or you're not the starter or the next backup, you're going to play on special teams. So they understand that, and they've really locked in our special teams meetings and really wanting to do that. So we're going to play our best players, most dependable players on our special forces. And like I said, we got a lot more depth, and we got some freshmen that's going to have to get some of those special team reps of guys that we lost, because we lost probably 630 snaps, I think, from veteran guys from last year that I think some of the talented freshmen have the ability to do it from a physical standpoint. Now it's just learning the techniques, words, and the mental part of the special teams units.
Kind of along those lines, you mentioned the 34 freshmen you brought in. Not all of them get to play, and with the new world of the portal, do you have to manage freshmen coming in differently than maybe you used to, or how are you approaching it? Because you want to keep as many of them for the long term because you want to develop, but there's the temptation of the portal every year now.
Yeah, can't control that. I'm not thinking about the portal. I'm not thinking about if he's a freshman, a senior, a grad. I mean, the best players are going to play. The most dependable players are going to play. So if you're good enough and if you're old enough or young, the age doesn't matter. You know what you do and how to play, and you execute at a high level, then you'll earn the right to play on the football field. I mean, that's the reason we practice in 2 spots, to get more reps, develop our roster. Guys can make mistakes, but they get a chance to learn all 3 phases because of how we practice.
Are there any further questions for Coach McGee?
I'll throw one more in. You've joined our midst in a way. You started a YouTube channel. What was your thought behind wanting to do that, and have you seen any early return on investment in that, whether it's recruits noticing it or whatever you're looking for?
I don't know about return yet, but we are being more active from a social media standpoint. That's just trying to create an environment for our home games, just bringing more attention to our program, trying to sell more tickets, just trying to get, the city of Atlanta to support us. Even though we have so many things that go on in Atlanta, it is definitely hard, and we get it. But, we have some things in the works once our students come on campus. So it's just going to take a total team effort, including our president, administration, Charlie Cobb, to just make sure we're all aligned and getting that vision of filling that stadium up.
You mentioned sports bar. You mentioned the day one being a little bit fatigued. Just how are the guys acclimating, yourself included, now that you're finally together as a full staff and being out there in these elements?
Yeah, I mean, the first day is always going to be tough. Getting used to the heat, having the helmet on. You're out there for a good 2 hours just under the sun, so definitely took a toll on us. I know I was dripping in sweat all day, so definitely gonna have a couple more towels tomorrow to kind of offset that. But for a first day, I felt like it was good. All the work that we put in through the summer kind of added up to today, and I felt like as an offense we did a good job. Ran a lot of stuff that we've been doing all summer and executed today against the defense, so it was good to see that.
Take us through your journey from last December to now. I mean, you lose the job last year, but there's some highs and some lows, and going through spring and summer to this point, what's it been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely some highs and some lows last year. I felt like last year I did some good things, but I didn't do everything I needed to do to be consistent every single week. And I think this year that's been one of my biggest focus is to, make sure I'm checking all the boxes each week, making sure that, this winter, this spring, this summer, I did everything that I could to prepare myself for, these next couple practices, the game prep for Ole Miss, and then just getting into the season. So I've really attacked it as, the reality is it's my last year. This is my last shot to do what I want to do, to live out my dream. So I might as well do everything that I can to commit, be the best self that I can be, and also just do everything I can to help this team out. Because at the end of the day, I can't go anywhere unless we as a collective go somewhere. So that's been a big thing for me, to get everybody along, make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure guys know their stuff. And we still have a long way to go with that, but I feel like we've done a really good job this offseason.
And then alongside that, you're the only quarterback returning from this year, so you got 3 guys you got to help into the program. And I guess how's that been? What have you seen from them over the last, I guess all of them been since spring, right? So what have you seen over January?
Yeah, it's weird being the only guy to be back. That's the first time that's ever happened to me. So it's been good to get new minds into the room, because it makes you break down certain things and really get to the core of what the offense is. So we really have detailed conversations. We really go deep into everything. And everybody's picking it up really well. I think Cam, PJ, and TJ have done a great job. And then Jaden, our new walk-on, he's done a great job. So all those guys, they're smart. They know what they're doing. But I think that the benefit for myself was hey, let's start at ground zero and then build it all the way up. Even though you've been here, it's good to start from the bottom floor and then work all your way up. So
What about the rest of the offense? You're back, but there are a lot of new faces on the line, in the backfield, and some new talent in the receiving room.
We definitely added some depth, some size, some speed, and I think it's really going to help us. I think throughout this spring, this summer, we could really feel and see the difference of the guys we brought in, and I felt like we did a hell of a job recruiting. Now it's just about making sure we gel together, making sure we connect with each other, and just being on the same page. Because we all know what a talented football team looks like, and that's what we have here. We just gotta put it together and play well and play as a unit, or else we're not gonna win games. So.
Obviously, it's only day one, but when you take a second to look around as a guy that's been here for a little bit and you've seen how this team has grown, what are your first impressions of what this group looks like this year once the guys are actually on the field? Not wearing pads, but just how it looks so far.
Yeah, I think it's the culture, really. I think that's the biggest improvement and difference from last year. I think, a lot of the guys know what's expected. A lot of the guys know the standard, and we're actually, living it, implementing it. I think as players, we still need to do a better job to be a player-led team, but we've definitely taken a couple steps forward in that direction compared to last year. And I mean, we've just grown. We don't like to talk about last year, but it's all in the back of our minds for the guys that were here. And we try to use that as motivation to not repeat the same mistakes. And I mean, so far, everything's looked great from personnel standpoint, from culture standpoint, from even like the coaching staff. Like now that everybody's got a year under the belt, like things are running much more smoothly. So it's been nice.
Morning, Christian. You came in here with some high energy this morning, and you're not the only player that seems a little bit looser this go around. So can you kind of speak on that energy and excitement that the entire team is feeling right now going into fall camp?
Yeah, well, when it's your fifth camp, you gotta come in excited. You gotta come with the right mindset. I mean, I've been through it, so I know what it is. And I think a lot of the guys that have been here have expressed the same thing, like they're excited. And I think the biggest thing is like bringing the freshmen along. For them for their first camp, like I remember my first camp, I was like, oh my God, like this is college football. Like this is not what I signed up for. But I mean, you get through it. You got to embrace the suck, as we say. And I feel like everybody's like got a positive attitude. That's what we talked about in the meeting yesterday with Coach McGee. Is constant positivity is what I wrote down in my notes. So. Every day you got to wake up and be like, let's go practice. Every rep you got to be like, all right, this rep is what matters. Every drill you got to be like, all right, let me do this to the best of my ability. So, even though it's hot, even though you're tired, I got to be the voice out there to, get everybody going, get everybody excited. So I try to bring the energy and try to get guys to match my energy. So.
What was the Manning passing camp experience like for you?
It was awesome. I mean, I've always known about it since high school, and honestly, to be honest, never thought I would have gotten the opportunity to go. And I want to thank my quarterback coach out here in Atlanta, Charlie, with QB Country. He's the one who really put the word in for me and got me there. So shout out to him. But I mean, what a tremendous experience. I think my favorite part was not only meeting all the different quarterbacks in the country, but also just being around the kids and teaching them and, realizing that a couple years ago, 7-8 years ago, I was in their shoes and I was doing these camps and putting yourself in that coach mindset really makes you think about hey, when I do these drills, what do I do? So I kind of like that aspect of it. And then one of my favorite parts, like I said before, was just the other guys throughout the country. A lot of the quarterbacks that I met were real down to earth, real solid dudes. I know I got to spend time with my friend Bo, who was at Penn State with me, so that was great to see him. But overall, just a tremendous experience. And I mean, that's something that as a college quarterback you want to be invited to and be a part of. And for me to have that opportunity, I mean, I'm super grateful. And really my upbringing for football was through Peyton Manning because my dad was a huge Peyton Manning guy, and growing up I was watching him, so that's how I got into football. So to be there and just watch him and Eli and Cooper is actually hilarious. So I'll give him that. But I mean, what a great experience. I'd go again tomorrow if I could. So yeah.
It was hot, wasn't it?
You know what? It wasn't too bad when I was there. It was kind of overcast most afternoons, but when that sun was out, yeah, I mean, I wore about 3-4 shirts a day. And that camp is all day. You wake up in the morning, you practice, and you go to lunch, then you have another practice, then you do dinner, then you have 7-on-7 at night. So it's yeah, it's long, but I mean, it's worth it. And then the best part is going out with the other quarterbacks and stuff. It's always a good time. So.
How was day one with the defense?
Day one with the defense, I felt like we played great. I love the energy that we came out with. We got some young guys in there that has been playing. We got some older guys that can really lead us young guys to play even better than what we was last year. So I just felt like we came out with the right energy.
And you have you and Josiah, the linebacker. You got Henry, Deuce, Ian Matthews, a lot of guys in that front seven that played last year together. Do you think that's helped you guys continuity heading into this year?
Yes, sir. I feel like we have a lot of team chemistry, especially in that box. Me and Joe, sometimes we get tired. We know to look at each other. Sometimes we don't even have to talk to each other. We know exactly what to do. With my big guys up front, they know what us linebackers like. like we like them to open up the holes for us, and we can just run through, so they don't got to really worry about the double team too much. So I just feel like everybody just got good chemistry. I feel like it's a great year already.
I've gotten the sense talking to Coach McGee a couple of times that positivity and energy is something the new defense coordinator Travis Pearson brings. Do you like that as an energy guy coming in?
Yes, sir. Even when we come in for every meeting, like he comes in with the best energy. Like it don't matter what day it is. It don't matter what day of the week it is. Like he comes in, he's ready to work. So that makes us ready to work.
What has the feeling been like? Obviously, it's just day one, but when you take a second, we were looking around at different guys, how guys are flying around, we put some new names as well. What have you kind of noticed so far about this team when you compare it to the team that you played with last year?
We fly around. We love each other. It's more like I just feel like it's more of a brotherhood. Like we got close together. Like our first DNA connection. Like I feel like we really like know exactly what everybody wants. Like we want the big goal. We want that championship. That's what we want. That's what we're going to. So every day I feel like we're gonna come outside. We're gonna go out there and really put our best foot forward and really empty our tanks.
How much does it help Dell being here in his second season here? He's kind of got a feeling of how he kind of wants things to go. Guys on the team have been part of this and knows what it kind of supposed to be looking like, the standard of it. How much does that help with, I guess, helping you guys be able to move a little bit freer, knowing that you know what the standard is now instead of practicing it out?
I feel like instead of guessing, we're just doing it now. Like we're just going. Like it's no second thoughts. It's just go.
What's it like for you being one of the guys who's back from last season to kind of help the new faces along? Are they leaning on you a little bit?
I would say they are. I feel like everybody has their own strengths. Coming back from a 3-9 season, I know I don't ever want to do that again, and I know they don't ever want to do that again. So it's more of a we thing now. So now everybody, whoever's the best at what they do, you help out your other guy if he's not as good as that. You feel me? Like it's just about the brotherhood.
And last year you had the green dotted a couple of times through the year. You
Yes,
played
sir.
as a true freshman. Do you feel like you've had the moment where the game started to slow down for you now heading into your second year?
I feel like it has. Coach JT, he's been helping me look after how to watch film, how to dissect it, what to know is coming, especially Coach CJ. Instead of just checking a motion, we're checking into a coverage that we're going to go into. It just slows everything down so we can know exactly what to do.
What are your personal goals through this fall camp? And for your unit as well, just
I want the whole unit, including me. I don't want us to miss anything. I want us to be as perfect as we can be. You know, we're only human, but I want us to be as perfect as we can be. Everything that we do, I want perfection.
Morning, Damaine. I saw recently Coach JT had you guys all over and it looked like playing some NCAA.
Oh, yeah.
Can you kind of speak on, the unit getting closer, outside of the facility and off the field and how much that's going to help you guys accomplish it?
I feel like the cookout that we had our first annual, the cookout was great. That put us together as brothers. Instead of seeing each other in the locker room all the time, we could see each other outside of football. We could see how somebody really reacts to certain things and how to help him, say if he needs any help. We can see just us becoming even closer as brothers instead of just being competitors all the time and always competing. We can come together and show some vulnerability and really love each other.